for having an opportunity to welcome this gathering. First and foremost, I would like to welcome a person who needs no introduction, a man known for his wisdom and hard work, who is none other than our most respected chief guest, Dr. R. Raghunathan, Director, CBNR, Coimbatore. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam.
My hearty welcome to the faculty members of the Department of Microbiology and Psychology. Once again, I welcome you all. My wholehearted welcome to aspiring student participants of our college and other colleges as well as. So once again, I welcome you also. Ma'am, Krishna ma'am, now I call upon Krishna ma'am to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
So, first of all, good morning to all. And here it is my pleasure for having an opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Dr. R. Raghunathan, the Director and Research Supervisor, Center for Bioscience and Nanoscience Research, Coimbatore. To start with, he was a lecturer in the Department of Microbiology in Sri Shankara College of Science and Commerce in the period 1994 to 1995. And later, he worked as head of the Department of Microbiology and Biotechnology in Sri Nehru Mahavidyalaya College of Arts and Science. Later, he got promoted as the Dean and Faculty of Science, head of the Department of Microbiology and Biotechnology in the year 2002, and he worked till 2011 in the same institute, Sri Nehru Mahavidyalaya College of Arts and Science. Later, he worked as the principal and research supervisor in Maharaja Co-Education Arts and Science College, Velingarai. And while telling about him, he is an expert in medical microbiology and molecular biotechnology and nanotechnology as well. And so far, he has published 69 research papers in international journals and 25 in national journals. And to his record, he has received a notable international and national awards like WHO's Who in Medicine and Healthcare New Providence in USA in the year 2009 and 2010. Later, he is also the recipient of Best Citizen of Indian Award in the year 2009 from International Publishing House in New Delhi. And also he is a coordinator of a UGC IMF scheme, a NAC team, and course convener of UGC Career Oriented Program Nanomedicine. And while telling about his project, he has completed 2 projects worth of 35 lakhs, and he has submitted 76 gene sequences in NCBI as well. And he is a member of doctoral committee, Kapang University and Bardiyar University. And he is a life member in Association of Microbiology of India. And he is a member in Academy of Environmental Biology and a member in Mushroom Society of India as well. And he is the annual member in the International Society of Biology as well. He has attended 58 national conferences and 7 international conferences as well. So, thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and thank you for being here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Madam, shall I start now?
Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you. The slide is visible now?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Full screen?
No, sir. Partially, sir.
Wait, madam.
Okay, sir.
Now?
No, sir.
Full screen?
No, sir. No, sir.
No.
No, sir. It's not visible, sir.
Now, madam?
Yes, sir. Loading, sir.
It is visible now?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
So anyway, well, Acha, very good morning to all. So first of all, I thank that your management, your principal, your HOD, and all the faculty members to share some views about this old topic, microbes as biopreservative. So what our ancestor, what we practiced in 19th century or 18th century or 17th century. So now we are giving a technical term, that's all, called as the biopreservative. That is microbes as biopreservative. While discussing the various aspects of these microbes as biopreservatives, if you have any doubt, please you can ask. So before entering deep into this subject, just I would like to give some importance about the food safety and what is biopreservative and what is preservative, why we people are bothered about only the preservation nowadays, more concentration on the biopreservation. So basically, if you take any food nowadays, if you take any food, even our students, some of our microbiology students from our college, they are doing some isolation of the multi-drug resistant foodborne pathogens from the food samples, street food sample, and street food and some packet food like that. And some students are doing the project here. And really, I think definitely they knew about that. What are the different contaminating bacteria are there? Whether what we are eating, the food in our day-to-day life is safe, whether it is a safer or not safety, whether it is containing any adulterated materials or not. So nowadays, that's why our ancestors, our forefathers already, they said that one technical term, we should take food as a medicine, not medicine as a food. Now it is a reverse reaction. You are all well educated, and the world is in your hand. You people, the youngsters, you know very well about it. What I am going to say, where we are standing now, why we are giving more importance nowadays only to the food. Food safety. Nowadays, the food adulteration has become a very common practice, not only in our country, wherever you go. Food adulteration nowadays become more common. And we are consuming this food almost every day, which have numerous harmful effects to our health. You see, every day we watch TV news are unhygienic, and that you decide what are the things, how you are going to eat and all. And what is the side effect? The adulterated food have many side effects of individuals, not only affect the individuals and also the communities. Entire communities will spoil. So here I want to ask some questions to people like you. Nowadays we are used to purchase some lot of which one, that the packet food, canned food, off-boiled food, pre-boiled food. Have anyone checked about that? What are the ingredients are there in the packet food? Tell the truth. If anyone checked after purchasing the packet food, whether it may be the jam or jellies or whatever it is, even liquid food, anyone checked about that? What are the ingredients are there in the what you purchase in the food packet? Somebody should open that unmute and just to say the answer for this. Say yes or no. யாரா செக் பண்ணிருக்குமா? Simply we purchase, just we check only the expiry date. Sometimes you won't check that also. Simply they put that added second class preservative, added permitted colors, added fermented ingredients. What is added fermented ingredients? As a layman, definitely you are the microbiologist and the biotechnologist and the biochemist or life science students, and you know very well about it. Suppose you're an unled man. That's why I think that is fortunately this seminar is for that is organized by both microbiology and the psychology. You know, the psychology of the bacteria nowadays it's become very clever. The combination of the microbes with the psychology. Nowadays, we cannot predict the mode of action of the bacteria. No one can predict. Even doctors cannot predict. Microbiologists cannot predict. Okay, that part we will discuss in due course. The food adulteration, anything, the substance which are adding to the food that is injurious to our health is called as the food adulteration. So to prevent the food adulteration, what next? Preservation. Sir, why you want to preserve the food? Anybody should say the answer. Please open that your mic, unmute and just to say somewhere, no problem. What is the necessity to preserve the food particle? எதுக்கு ஒண்ணு ஃபுட்டை வந்து preserve பண்ணணும்?
Sir, hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's lifespan storage, like a lifespan.
Lifespan, that you are saying longer shelf life.
Yes, sir.
It's there in the slide, just you see longer shelf life. Yes, you want to preserve the food. Suppose you think over the 19th century, you go back to 2000, you go back to 1990s. How our ancestors, they preserved the food, whether they used any refrigerator, whether they used any other chemical ingredients to preserve the food.
No, sir. They use salt.
Salt.
Drying.
Yes,
and then drying method.
Very, very, very good. So our ancestors are very clever than the scientists. Even though without studying the microbiology, they know how to eradicate the pathogenic bacteria. They used the natural preservatives. That's why now again we are coming back to the same natural preservative what our ancestors they tried in our day-to-day life. You see the need for preservation, especially the decomposition of the food should not be happen. Spoilage should not be happen, and food should be preserved. What reason? One is the economic advantages. Second one is the longer shelf life. What the girl told now. The technical term as they are increasing the shelf life of the food particle, enable longer transport, reduce the demand and the cost, save food for consumers. So we have to fulfill all these 5 criteria. That's why nowadays we are in need of the preservation. So where we are concentrating more in the 4th one, reduce the demand and the cost. And enables the longer transport. Suppose here I want to narrate one incident. Suppose if you want to purchase that any fruits and vegetables, suppose you are using some imported fruits, no? Suppose you are getting that apple, New Zealand apple or Australian apple or that New Jersey apple. It should reach to India. It should take minimum 10 to 15 days. So just think over about it. Forced harvesting issue. As a microbiologist, we have to face a lot of problems in the forced harvesting issue. We have to give some solution to the farmers. So what the farmers they are doing? So they are depending upon people like you. To eradicate the forced harvesting issue, now we have to coat that fruits with some other agents. So what they are doing, some chemical they are doing. So to avoid this, now we have to going for some biological material. Enable longer transport. Then coming to this next chemical and biological method of preservation, what our ancestors, they used it only the chemical. The chemical means nothing to injurious to our health. Only they used only the salt as the preservative. Apart from salt, they used honey. Coming to this natural, they are using the turmeric powder. They are using this gingerly oil. Then later we'll discuss what are the things are there. Then here you can see what is that microbes are involved in this, sir. Yes, microbes, bioprotective cultures, fermentatives, then antimicrobial agents of natural origin. Whether you can use the direct antimicrobial preservative or indirect antimicrobial preservatives. And the last one is the antioxidant, what we are saying, nutraceutical compound. What is the definition for any preservative? Variety of compounds that help to or to slow the prevent the bacterial and the fungal mold growth in the wide range of products, that including the food or medicine and the personal care products. Here we are differing whether you can use the chemical or whether you can use the biological material, that you should decide. If you go for any biological method, definitely the production cost is somewhat very high. If you want to save for side, if you want to preserve the world, then you have to go for only the biological method. So these compounds can be natural or synthetic. It may be the natural, you can get it from the nature, or get it, you can synthesize the own material. So they play, the preservatives, they play a vital role in many products in our day-to-day life, especially to prevent the growth of harmful microbes. To overcome these chemical preservative, so here we are using one technical term, biopreservation. So it is the rational exploitation of the antimicrobial potential of naturally occurring chemical compounds or microbes or their metabolites. So here we should be very cautious. So you must know whether you are using the entire bacteria or entire microorganisms, or you want to use the products from the microbes, secondary metabolites from the microbes for the extended shelf life. That means for the long storage without any spoilage. That is called as the biopreservatives. So these are some of that commonly used preservatives is acetaminophen or insulin and cough syrup to help the prevent microbial contamination. So to overcome this, particularly the bacteria and the fungi which may cause disease or the infection. That is for we are here. These are some personal, that is preservatives in cosmetics and personal care products. That and all not necessary for us. When we coming to the food, why? That's why I told added. If you want to, if you purchase any packet food in the market, just they put added second class preservatives. Anybody can tell one example of the added second class preservative? Simply they mention that added second class preservative. What is an added second class preservative? You check it. Anyone checked the packet food? Give an example or added second class preservative. We don't know. Simply we go and purchase the food and we are eating without knowing any harmful effect in the packet food. Not only in the packet food. The preservatives that we are added to the food to fight the spoilage that is caused by the bacteria, mold, or the fungus and the yeast, and they can keep the food fresher for the longer period. And also, suppose we are adding any preservative, that should not change the color, flavor, texture of your food particle. So here, now many companies are using the products secondary metabolites from the actinomycetes. Anybody know about what is actinomycetes? What is actinomycete? Yo. Please just say in one word what is actinomycete. Okay, just to say where it is present at least.
Sir, in marine environment.
Oh, okay. In marine environment it is present. Then marine environment it is present. Yes. Then
Sir, it is gram-positive bacteria.
Gram-positive filamentous bacteria which is present in the marine environment and also which is present in the soil. So that these are the first synthesized secondary metabolites from the actinomycetes we are using as antibiotics. But we cannot use the secondary metabolites from the actinomycetes in the food particle, just as antibiotics. After penicillin, now we are using the different type of antibiotics that to produced by your actinomycetes. So this next to this, to overcome this antioxidant we can use. Now every day you can see the different type of that. How the stability is there. Simply our forefathers are guided us very clearly. They guided us. These food are rich in the antioxidant. These food are rich in the fruit fiber. These food are rich in the secondary metabolites of the bacterial components. Now we are saying the technical term. Even we are then anyway after 4 or 5 slides, then I will explain about that how that the peoples are misusing that our bacteria. Then antioxidant we can use as a preservative. Antibiotics, tetracycline in poultry or fish and canned food. Then another thing we have to be very cautious while using this type of antibiotics, misuse of antibiotics that leads to other problem, development of the multi-drug resistant pathogenic bacteria which is present in the fish and the poultry. அதுமே ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்றான் நம்ம பையன். MDR வந்துச்சு, ஃபிஷ்ல வந்தாச்சு, சிக்கன்ல வந்தாச்சு. Then substances, moisture substances, that is we can use from the coconut. Coming to the natural preservative, so natural antioxidant we can use the polyphenols, ascorbic acid, carotenoids and the tocopherols. We can extract and use it as the even one of projects now it's going on by we are extracting some carotenoids and also that these of that is ascorbic acid, carotenoids, ascorbic and anthocyanin from the pomegranate peel. Now we are just throw it out the pomegranate peel. This anthocyanin they are using to use it as a biopreservative to make the fruit pulp. It is under process. Coming to our great microbes, natural antimicrobials, bacteriocins, netamycin, lutein, polylysin, lysozyme, lactoperoxidase, lactoferrin, polyphenols, essential oil, etc., etc., etc. Natural colorant, இது யார் நம்ம bother பண்றதே இல்லை. No one is bothered about the natural colorants, and we are adding the added synthetic color. If you are consuming synthetic color, it won't be digested by our body. So all the synthetic colors are accumulated in our intestine that leads to formation of the stomach cancer or liver cancer or pancreatic cancers in future. Okay, that and all we should not bother about this one. Anyway, whatever I say, definitely we won't get that natural colored food material in the market. After the seminar, even myself also going and buy the same type of the food. No other way. Instead of that, we have to prepare our own food in our home, at home. The natural sweeteners. These are the natural sweeteners are available in the market. These are the some natural preservative. Then some of the chemical preservatives we are using. What is the side effects? Paraben, you see, side effect. Formaldehyde, sollave vendam. What is the impact of the formaldehyde? What is the impact of the urea? You know, you are a microbiologist, you know very well about it. Now the 70% formaldehyde and the urea, now they are using this one as the preservative, and for us it is adulterant. Some of that milk and the milk products are containing the formaldehyde because they are saying this one as a preservative. Suppose we are using the formaldehyde in the milk, what happened? The beneficial bacteria also died. Apart from the harmful bacteria, apart from the E. coli, apart from the Staph apart from the Enterobacteriaceae member, our the beneficial good bacteria which is present in the milk also be eradicated. Then benzyl alcohol, you see the fetal toxic syndrome, infrequent sensitizers, cetyl alcohol, benzoic acid, gastroirritant. நம்மளுக்கே தெரியும் sometimes எங்கேயாவது நல்ல கடையில் ட்ரீட்னு போய் சாப்பிட்டு வருவோம். Suppose you went to treat in some other shop along with your friends. You see some irritation in the intestine, you see some irritation in the esophagus, trachea, lot of irritations. How you stop that is irritation? Then you go and take some cup of water with the lime juice. Lime as a biopreservative. Turmeric as a biopreservative. That we will see. Then EDTA. EDTA we are using in our laboratory for our other purposes. To overcome this, coming to the biopreservative, it should not be irritant, it is non-toxic, and it is a physically stable, and you can be able to easily produce and formulate, and it is a good antimicrobial agent and wide spectrum of activity, and also maintain the activity throughout the product manufacturing and shelf life and the usage. Nowadays, many companies now they are coming back to nature, that to preserving the food by using the biopreservative. The same thing, sugar, vinegar, salt, and honey, edible oil. Edible oil means especially the olive oil and this gingerly oil are naturally containing the antimicrobial property. Even coconut oil they are using. That time our ancestors they used this oil as a preservative. Chemicals we should not bother. Antimicrobial, antioxidant. Okay. Then what you want to say to the consumers? So while we are purchasing any food from the outside, the consumer must know the consumer law, what it says, the label. I told you, no. Suppose you are purchasing any packet food, the packet food should containing the name of the food, weight or volume, ingredient list. You just say whether the ingredient list available in the packet. No, I told you, no, just they have given that added second class preservative. Then allergen information, whether the food is allergic to the ingredients, is allergic to whom, whether the age factor or senior citizen or the pregnant woman or the handicaps like that, whether it is genetically modified ingredients, data, that's a date mark and storage condition, where it should store, whether it should store எங்கயாவது ஒரு கார்னர்ல போட்டிருப்பேன் நம்ம பாக்கெட் ஃபுட்ல store at RT. RT na you people you know, as a layman what they know about the RT, room temperature. Store at RT, room temperature. Store at 4 degree centigrade போட்டு ஒரு பல்ப் போட்டு 4 டிகிரி காமிச்சிருப்பான் டெம்பரேச்சர் போட்டு. அது வந்து புரியாது நம்மளுக்கு, லேமேனுக்கு புரியாது. உனக்கே நம்மளுக்கே சம்டைம்ஸ் சும்மா ரூம் டெம்பரேச்சர் வைக்க கொண்டு ரெஃப்ரிஜரேட்டர் வைப்போம், ரெஃப்ரிஜரேட் பண்றது கொண்டு ரூம் டெம்பரேச்சர்ல வைப்போம். லாட் ஆஃப் கன்ஃபியூஷன் இஸ் தேர். தென் preparation and instructions, name and address of the manufacturer. If anyone is missing, you can go and meet the consumer forum. You can meet the consumer forum. You can make complaint, no problem. Okay, now coming to our anti-action of our microorganism. So already the great Louis Pasteur, he discovered the fermentation. Our ancestor they used the give an example of naturally available fermented food that won't get spoiled for more than a week. Whether I asked any tough question? Okay, use of fermentative microorganisms to preserve the food directly inhibit the spoilage organism or pathogen or inhibit the toxin formation, because some of the bacteria while growing inside the food they produce the toxin called food intoxication. So these are the secondary metabolites produced by the bacteria that should neutralize the toxin. This is God's gift. Already it was available in the food. Example, lactic acid bacteria. I told no before that. While adding the formaldehyde to the milk and milk products, that will eradicate the probiotic bacteria, that to lactobacillus. I don't know whether the commercially available curd or commercially available milk is having this lactobacillus or not. That I don't know. Please, you have to check that. Also, one of the students is doing here. We purchased some commercially available packet curd and some commercially available packet milk. We are checking whether the probiotic bacteria is present or not. Because these probiotic bacteria and prebiotic bacteria are the nature's gift that we are using as the biopreservative. That's why the entire microorganism, though here our ancestor, the best example is the curd. You forget about the curd. You forget about the dough. The fermentation, the fermented rice. In Tamil it is called as the kanji. I am challenging you people. What the rice, what you are eating today in your day-to-day life. After that things, you just pour your cup of water in the rice. You just leave it for 2 to 3 days. Definitely it won't get ferment. Before that, rice is containing lactobacillus. Probiotic, that's why it is automatic fermentation process. வீட்ல மாவாட்டிப்பாங்க அம்மா, நெக்ஸ்ட் நல்லா பொங்கி மேல வரும். இப்போ எங்கேயாவது வருதா? கிடையாது. Rice, antimicrobial agents of biological origin. One is the direct antimicrobial preservatives, or the oldest compound bacteriocin produced by the microbes that are using to preserve the effect, preserve the food. And the microbes, they produce a wide range of chemicals, secondary metabolite, nisin, netamycin. Then I will give some example later. Antibiotics produced by the microbes like penicillin and the essential oil of the spices and continent. Essential oil of the spices. Either you can use the entire bacterial strain, or you can grow the bacteria in the laboratory. You produce the secondary metabolites. You purify the compound by using downstream processing, or you can use the fermentation liquor or the concentration or the concentrate as a biopreserving agent. Then what are the things? But that is our bacteria commercially available. You see here, all lactic acid bacteria, lactobacillus, lactococcus, pediococcus, corynebacterium, enterococcus, leukinostoc, Escherichia, vagococcus, propionibacteria. Then here I am asking one question. Apart from this, now you people give an example of that endangered. Are you heard about the people are microbiologists? Are you heard about the endangered bacteria? In the world, endangered plant is there, endangered animal is there. What about the endangered bacteria? Whether it is there or not? Yes, very soon. முன்னாடி சினிமால போடுவாங்க இல்லையா, coming soon. You just put, please note the date 19 to 2021. After this, you just to see the endangered bacteria. You just to see the endangered bacteria. It is there in that your naturally available food. In future, definitely you won't get that type of the bacteria. Just you see the once upon a time, long ago, bacteria which is present in that milk or which is present in the curd as a probiotic. Now, instead of taking that naturally available probiotic, now it is available in the form of tablet in the market. It's a marketing. Amoxicillin with lactic acid bacteria capsules are commercially available. Why you want to take these capsules? Better you take a cup of milk, cup of curd, but naturally fermented. Okay, apart from this here, what are the available products? Bactoform, it's a pediosin. Alta 2351, it's a pediosin quast, saxin, cornicin, myosin, picolin, and the corynebacteriocin. So these are the bacteria that produce the compound. These are the commercially available product. I don't know whether it is available in India, that I don't know. Just we check it in the market. As per my knowledge, 2 products are available. Substrin and bactrosin and nisin are available in the market. All these are produced only by our great microorganisms. But I don't know how our forefathers are very clever. They used to do this one as a preserving agent. The rice, fermented rice. And see the criteria for antimicrobial effectiveness. The category, that's a category 1 bacteria, category 2 bacteria. Then here you can see 3.0 log reduction in 14 days, no increase up to 28 days. Yeast, bacteria 2 log reduction 14 days, 28 days. Bacteria 3, bacteria group 4. These are the things that we have to take care while doing this bacterial inoculum preparation. And also the yeast. In yeast, only one Saccharomyces cerevisiae that is already available in your fermented product. So most of the fermented product in that is what our ancestors used containing your lactobacillus or probiotic. You see the natural antimicrobial agents where it is present. Again, our ancestors they used the onion or garlic or spices, phenolic compounds or other plant and plant products. Then peptides. Nowadays, most of the research, many companies, they started to do some research, especially our company Synchromax Biotech India Private Limited, located at Tiruvallur, Chennai, on the highway to Andhra Pradesh. They used to produce the secondary metabolite, that is antimicrobial peptide from the Bacillus polymaxa and Bacillus thuringiensis. Probiotic. And they developed some probiotic capsules for the fish feed. Okay, that we'll see later. Animal, that is a secondary metabolite, that is peptide, antimicrobial peptide from the bacillus, from the lactobacillus, from the Leishmaniasis, from the Streptococcus lactis. I am challenging you whether if anyone will isolate Streptococcus lactis, now we are great. Anyone may isolate the Penibacillus, it is very great. Anyone may isolate in the Bifidobacterium, we are great. Now, definitely in future we won't see this type of the microorganisms. I cannot show these microorganisms for other, that is in future students. Then from bacteria and that and all, okay, from algae and mushrooms, macroalgae, seaweed, microalgae diatoms, mushrooms. Yeah, mushrooms are having more antimicrobial agent. Mushrooms are having anti-cancer property. Mushrooms are producing lovostatin. Mushrooms are producing GA, GABA. These are lactobacillus also producing GABA. These are the GABA butyric acid is very important. We are using this one as antimicrobial agents. Please, anyone be try in your project. Okay. In future perspectives, now you see direct application, whether you can use this one as a directly application in the food, or you can develop as a nanoparticle. Now we develop the bacteriocin based nanoparticle, bacillocin based nanoparticle. And also the not last I told edible films and the coating for the packing. That is the biggest issue. For that we got some funding from that company for chitin. We are preparing some chitin and chitosan based nano composites, and we are extracting this biopolymer chitin and chitosan not from the crab. We are extracting this from the white rot fungus, that too only the mushrooms. Mushroom cell wall containing this component, and we develop as an antimicrobial agent. We can give it to the farmers as a edible coating. Why you are using the probiotic? Because the most of the biopreservatives microbes is the probiotics. Why you are concentrating? You see, immune system. They give good immune system to our body, good mental health. Definitely you won't get diarrhea. Good for heart. It's a good bacteria, gut bacteria, and also you can use it as a weight loss, and you can escape from a lot of allergies while consuming this probiotic. But the probiotic you consume, that should be available in nature. You mind it, that should be available in nature. Good bacteria. When the idea was framed, who framed this idea? Medinov in 1908. He only developed the idea probiotics. So individuals who lived in the certain part of the Bulgaria, which attributed to their ingestion on a regular basis of a fermented milk product. Again, most of the technical terms or scientific terms, especially the life science terms, are derived only from the Greek. Probiotics means for life. How our ancestors were very clever, how they are very great. But I don't know whether the large number of probiotics are currently used and available in the dairy fermented food, especially in yogurts. Please, you check it, which is available in the market. You are a microbiologist. You take the sample to the laboratory, you just put in MRS medium, MRS broth. You check whether the growth of the probiotic bacteria is present or not. Or you put in the Bacillus cereus medium to isolate the Bacillus probiotic one. These are some example of the probiotic. Propionibacterium, I don't know whether you will get or not. Lactobacillus we may get. Lactococcus now become endangered. Bibliobacterium also become endangered. Then Streptococcus thermophilus, I don't know, it is not available. Escherichia coli, some non-pathogenic strains of the E. coli which produce the enterotoxin, that is which produce the bacteriocin-like compound. Produce the bacteriocin-like compound, non-pathogenic form. Okay, these are called as the probiotic. Then what is the difference between the probiotics and the prebiotics? There is some controversy. The probiotics, it's a live bacteria or yeast, which is digestive system or yogurt and dairy products. It provides a healthy environment in the digestive tract to aid the digestion. And also it will inhibit the harmful bacteria and boost the immune system and increase the resistance. Coming to the prebiotic, it is a specific type of plant fiber that to non-digestible carbohydrate. Food sources for healthy bacteria to grow. So you give the food sources for the probiotic bacteria. Then it reduces the inflammation, enhance uptake of vitamins and minerals by your body, and reduce the risk of infection and bowel disease and better balance of the hormones by the prebiotics. This market panita. It's a tablet naturally available products. Now we are consuming when you're giving money and you give back. Instead of that, better you go with the natural one. I told the great our acidic acid bacteria, and the acidic acid bacteria utilization is not now, it's not new for us. It was practiced by our ancestors in 12th century, 9th century itself. Go to the European countries, many European countries, they are producing the fermented yogurt and the fermented cheese. Still, they are marketing 17th century fermented. The old age cheese is containing rich in the lactobacillus, rhizobus. Acidic acid bacteria. The acidic acid is one of the oldest chemical which is available in the naturally. That's commercial vinegar. It is a chemical. But naturally, acidic acid produced by our acidic acid bacteria, acinobacteria. So gram-negative bacteria that produce acid tolerant. And apart from this, these are the compound produced by the anyone who can take any research in this one. Okay? That is halobacin, halobacillin, bacillate statin, bacillocyarin, idiomycin, macrolactin. Apart from this, bacteriocin is there, bacillocin is there, niacin is there. These are the compound produced by the great Bacillus species. A single Bacillus genus, especially the Anthracis and the Bacillus cereus, most of the Bacillus species can able to produce different type of secondary metabolites. You can use the entire bacteria as a probiotic in the food as a preservative, or you can produce any one of these compound and purify it, and you can use as a biopreservative. And you see a lot of example. Then what is the biopreservative? Then what is the name of the compound? And what is the killing? That is a preservative against the Listeria monocytosis, Bacillus cereus. This is the compound. You can see Thuringian produced by the Bacillus thuringiensis, Muresin, foodborne pathogenic to kill the Streptococcus pyogenes, that is in Shigella flexneri, Salmonella species, E. coli, Vibrio cholerae. Some of the compounds even they can able to kill the Aromonas species. These are some new compound. Sulbonocin 168. This is the mode of action of the compound that too also produced by the Bacillus species. You can produce by using the different type of the fermentation medium. Even one of the, I want to share the views, or if people heard about that S protein, EPS, extrapolysaccharide. and S protein. These two components are produced by the lactobacillus species, cell wall of lactobacillus. You should extract the compound by using the fermentation media. You should extract, and we can use as a preservative that especially your S protein, surface protein. That's all. And EPS, extrapolysaccharide, produced by your lactobacillus. Here you can see the bacterial, the anti-biofilm drug. It's a extrapolysaccharide, and you can use the biosurfactant, secondary metabolites, cell-free extract. You can use. This is the gut health. GABA, I told you, GABA, it is a compound, naturally available compound, which is present more in the mushroom. It is present more in the sunflower seeds. It is present more in the lactobacillus species, not the bacillus. Bacillus yield is not very less. These extracellular surface associated proteins, CSF antibiotics, secreted hydrolytes, enzymes, bacteriocins, vitamins, lactobacillus produce these and bacillus produce these. You people now think over about that. Now it is the time to think over about it for the application of this compound, especially your products. Where you are using this product. This is the commercially available probiotic, unpacketed probiotic, Lactobacillus plantarum. This Vibrio bacteria. Using the Vibrio bacteria as a biopreservative, no? Then what are the health benefits? It reduces the blood cholesterol level, act as the immunoregulators, and produce vitamins, restore normal intestinal flora, and also reduce the blood ammonia level. But it is a great challenge for a microbiologist to isolate the Vibrio bacteria. Great challenge. Even in future, isolation of lactobacillus from the milk or the curd, it is also become a great challenge. A Streptococcus lactis, great challenge. But our ancestors, we developed the things. Our ancestors, they developed the technology. But now we forget about entire thing. Now we had to happen, I don't know. You can use the microorganisms, entire microorganisms as the protective cultures. Then final products and free stages are the raw material to control the bacteria, to prevent the toxin formation. Here is more important, prevents of the toxin formation and also the shelf-life extension. These are some example of the bacteriocin of the lactobacillus. Class 1 antibiotics, this is the example. Class 2 non-modified heat stable. Some of the food, suppose we are adding this compounds to that some of the food and we are heating the food. No, it should be a heat stable. Class 2, pediosin, introsin. These are the compound. These type of the compounds are you can just think over about it. A single bacteria that can able to produce is a low, even all low molecular weight. The molecular weight of these protein components are 10 to 30 kDa, kilodaltons. Then only it is easy for us to enter inside our body, easily enter inside the cell. And apart from this, we people should bother about these 10 important principles. HACCP principles. Then coming to this common fermented food. What are the in bread? It's made up of wheat. What are the microbes are available? Saccharomyces cerevisiae and lactic acid bacteria. I don't know whether it is there in our bread, commercially available bread, but I don't know. We have to check it. But it should be there. Then only it is a good food. Then buttermilk, lactic acid bacteria. I am challenging you, go and buy a buttermilk and you can isolate the lactic acid bacteria, it is good. Yogurt, I don't know whether it is available or not. Sauerkraut, cabbage, I don't know whether this, but it should be there. Pickles, cucumber, Penibacillus, plantarum. These are some common fermented food with microorganisms, and automatically these bacteria and the yeast become the preservative. Here we need not add any preservative, chemical preservative for the long storage. And what is the future biopreservative? Please, you should bother about the safety. You should bother about the spoilage potential, effectivity, stability, compatibility, and antimicrobial property. In future, you should depend on if you satisfy, fulfill all this criteria, and your biopreservative is correct. Other antimicrobial agents. Apart from this, what are the other antimicrobial agents in food industry? You know, Waxman, the great scientist, microbial antagonism, antimicrobial peptide, antimicrobial of plant origin, antimicrobial of animal origin, bacteriophages, and Betulovibrio. And these most of the food industries now they are concentrating on this type of the product, especially from the microorganisms. So it is the biocontrol. One organism control another organism. Yes, lab. Again, that probiosis is antiviral activity, production of inhibitory substances, stimulation of the immune system, especially the gene coding for the viral proteins, that is enhancement of macrophage activity, and some of the useful bacteriocins for the dairy and food industry. Lactococcus lactis, Pediococcus, Leishmaniasis. Then here you can see Lactobacillus sac. It's a producer one compound sacchin. And this bacteria is nowadays it is a more unexploited bacteria, Lactobacillus sacchi. Because isolation is very, very tough. It may be present only in the donkey milk. Present in the donkey milk, Lactobacillus sacchi. That until I don't know whether you will get these type of that microorganism, the probiotic bacteria. And what are the factors promoting the use of bacteria in the biopreservative? These are the factors. One is the effectiveness in low concentration that we have to check before you are going to add. Then economical factor. Next, to be frank, the chemical preservatives are so very cheaper than our microorganisms. You know, chemical preservative, for example, vinegar, very less cost. Second class preservative, what we are using, sodium benzoate, liquid, or salt, very less. But coming to the bacteriocin, it is very costly because we have to grow the bacteria, extract the missing, grow, purify, conform, and we can product it, market it. But if you want to the safe environment, if you want the safe, healthy, you should bother about only that product. Better, you can use the naturally available. The consumers resistant of traditional chemical preservative. We people, consumers. And our product should work under the very different kind of the pH, because each and every food are having the different pH and the different temperature range. Even the constituent, that is the food ingredient, which is present in the food particle. So we should take care about these things. We should consider these things before you are going to apply these microbes as a biopreservative. These are the mode of action of the bacteriocin, class 1 and class 2, how it act inside the internal cell and how it kill the bacteria. This is the peptidoglycan subunit. No, even the bacteriolysine, the lipoprotein enter, and you see the mode of action. Some they can stop the cleave the cell membrane and they stop the protein synthesis and nucleic acid synthesis. This is the mode of action of our own bacteria. Secondary metabolites are the entire bacteria. So, by nutshell, I conclude that application of these genus bacteria, the Lactobacillus group, or even the Bacillus also we can use different type of the Bacillus. We can use Bacillus polymixa, we can use Thuringiensis, we can use as a biopreservative. Okay. If you have any doubt, please you can ask. ஒரு டவுட் இல்லை சார், விட்டா போதும் எல்லாம் மைக் ஆன் பண்ணிட்டான், அப்பதான் ஆன் பண்ணுவான். Any doubt? Violet madam, any doubt?
Not sir.
Sir?
Thank you for the presentation.
Sir?
Forum is open for discussion. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Hope I'm audible.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Morning. Thank you for the
Good morning.
nice presentation. Now we have the forum open for discussion. Participants, if you have any
Yes, sir.
doubts, you can clarify with the speaker.
Asked one question. Sir, is there any way it can make the antimicrobial preservatives less in cost? But it is possible only in the production media. So here what I suggest, instead of going for the synthetic media, you can go for some solid state fermentation. So you can simply grow this type of the probiotic bacteria, even the bacillus or lactobacillus in some of the food waste. You can grow in that solid state through solid state fermentation, either rice husk or wheat bran or some of the fruit peel. You can grow, but extraction, coming to the extraction, it should be purified because we are adding into the food, no. So it should be a purely purified form that should not containing any other, because already it is a probiotic bacteria, nothing wrong, because we are consuming the curd. So along with the bacteria only we are consuming. What happened to our body? Nothing will happen. You are consuming the rice which containing bacillus. We are consuming the rice which containing lactobacillus. Nothing wrong. Instead of the chemical synthetic media, you can go for the natural media. No problem. Then the cost is very less. But only one thing is the mind setup of the people should come over to change the chemical preservative. That and all only in your hand, like young scientists like you people.
So I hope there are no questions from the participant side. If you have any question, I will ask Shardos at the email ID so that you can contact him and get the information in the future course. Now, formally concluding this session, I request Mrs. Violet Dula, Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning to one and all. Saying thank you is more than good manners, it is good spirituality. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. I would like to thank our special guest, Dr. Raghunathan, Director, Center for Bioscience and Nanoscience Research, who, despite his busy schedule, has found time to grace this occasion for sharing his knowledge about microorganisms and food preservatives. We are grateful to our management for their encouragement and support. We are grateful to our CEO, Dr. R. Manikam sir, for his kindness and his interest and continued support. I thank you, our Principal, Dr. R. Muralidharan sir, for his stewardship, vision, and commitment, and his unstinted support for this program. My heartfelt thanks to our Dr. P. Srinivasan sir, HOD Department of Microbiology, and Dr. Sajit Kumar sir, HOD Department of Psychology, for their valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all our efforts. I thank my colleagues for your cooperation in making this program successful, and also I would like to thank all the students for their attention and participation. Thank you once again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, I thank Raghunath sir for being here with us today. and presenting his topic. I also thank all the participants for spending your time. I hope the session had been useful to you for your career purpose. Thank you, sir. Participants, please be online while we share the feedback link on the chat box. Please fill the feedback link and submit the form in order to receive your certificate. It will be considered as an attendance certificate as well. The platform will be open for another 5 minutes for you to fill feedback form. Thank you.
Sir, shall I leave now?
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, the feedback link is posted on the chat box. And fill it.